welcome back to FamilyLifeBuildersTV, where we're building homes and transforming society. My name is Tosin Opeoluwa. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 50 secrets of staying married. Number 1, enter the marriage without expectation for material gain. If material gain comes, fine. If it doesn't come, that's okay. Number 2, both of you should grow your financial sense. You need to learn how to budget. You need to learn to find series of streams of income. You need to have your life insurance. You need to invest, probably in stocks, probably in real estate, probably in farming. Learn to invest. Number 3, don't joke with quality sex. It's very essential. People shy away from sex, but it's actually part of the ingredients that make the soup of the marriage itself sweet. So you must learn to improve in sexual activities. Try varieties and give your husband whatever he wants. Because if you don't give him, thousands of people are out there that will give it to him the way he wants it. So protect your marriage. Number 4, study each other like you are studying a book. In marriage, we get the certificates on the very day that we start the school, but the exam starts almost immediately and we can't afford to fail. We can't afford to fail because we don't want them to tear the certificates. So there must be a tangible need. There's a tangible need beyond reasonable doubt that you need to invest in this. You need to invest in learning about your wife, about your husband, their best food, their mood, their love language, their spirituality, when they are cold, when they are hot. You want to challenge them and make them better, even spiritually. Number 5, you have to define your breaking points, because when life gets tough, your breaking point might be a guide for you. For me, domestic violence is my breaking point. If any man tries to beat me, I will not take it. I am leaving. Seriously. But every other thing or any other thing, I've made up my mind that if they happen, then it could be a breaking point for me, but I've made up my mind to keep my marriage even if they happen, except for domestic violence. So you need to define your breaking points before you enter into the marriage. Number 6, respect each other. Men love respect. Respect him as much as you can. Sometimes if a woman is taking most of the responsibility in home, it's always very difficult for the woman to respect the man, because you look at it and say, well, I'm the provider. He's not providing. So if your husband is trying to work hard so that things can be okay for the family, learn to respect him, because the more you respect him, the more you encourage him to build his self-confidence, and the more he gains the self-confidence, the more he becomes a provider that you really want him to be. But if you talk down on him, if you look down on him, he will be depressed, he will have low self-esteem, and he will not be able to even bring the income that you desire. Number 7, don't try to change one another. Acceptance is very, very essential in marriage. Acceptance is very, very crucial in marriage. If you don't accept the other person and you are trying to change them, there will be disunity, there will be disharmony. And once there is disharmony, there won't be peace in the home. And once there's no peace, there won't be prosperity in the home. So you need to be conscious of that. Number 8, add long suffering to your patience. It's very essential for you to know that people can change suddenly. People don't change suddenly. So we need to give them a lot of time for them to change. Because if you don't, then there's going to be a problem. When you Give people the permission and the long time to change. They will change eventually. I look at most marriages that got destroyed. I look at most marriages that ended in divorce. And you will realize that in 5 years after the divorce, what matters to you then does not matter to you anymore. So make sure you encourage yourself to stay strong with long suffering and patience. Okay. Number 9, when you are wrong, admit that you are wrong. A lot of people want to cover things that are not necessary to be covered. When you are wrong, say I'm wrong and move on and say sorry, apologize and move forward. Almost everyone has a trauma. You have to understand your each other's trauma. That's number 10. Understand each other's trauma. Everyone has been through trauma at one point or the other. Know your partner's adverse childhood experiences. That is, there are several of those tests online. It's just 10 questions so that you will know what they've been through, where they've been, and how you can manage the situation. And if there's a need for you to seek therapy, please go ahead and do so. Seek help to heal together. And number 11, you need to play together. Learn instruments together, write poem, laugh, send text, talk dirty sometimes with each other, and make sure you are friends enough to be able to talk dirty as a couple. Number 12, understand each other's function button. Most of us live with our partners and we don't even understand their function button. It's not only in sex that you should understand where to touch that we move them. It's also essential for you to understand their function button. When are they at the normal? When are they at the low point? When are they at the high point? At the high point, you can always ask for what you want. At their high points, at their high points. For example, when is their good mood activated? You need to understand this person's good mood. When is he activated? For example, I sleep late almost every time. So in the morning, you can't find me in that space at all. So whatever you want, let's have it in the evening, in the night. Because in the morning, I'm not waking up until 12. Like, even when you see me wake up 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 a.m., I'm not awake. You just see me walking around quietly, doing my work, doing everything. I don't boast because I'm a night owl. Okay? So you need to understand when their mood is activated. Is it when they wake up? Is it after sex? Is it after food? Is it after good news? Is it after cuddling? Is it when you render a service to them? Know when their mood is activated so that you can actually, when you know those things, the Yoruba people call it mumu bossing. So when you know those things, you will know when to get them to serve you better in that marriage. Number 13, choose great friends. Don't choose wrong people around you. If you put wrong people around you, wrong things will happen. I tell you, that's the truth. They are going to teach you different things. They are going to teach you different things. So choose the right persons around you every time. Speak the truth in love. Number 14, speak the truth in love. If you know that I've seen people saying, well, I just say my own, that's the way, I just say my own, that's the way I know how to say it. No, you can say it better. You can say it in a better way. So it's essential for you to know how to say it and say it right. Just don't say just anything that will aggravate the other person in the name of I'm correcting them. Don't do it. Number 15, clarify your quid pro quo. That is, if I do this for you, what are you going to do back for me? People do it in relationship, you know. People do it. So you cannot say, oh, well, that's not correct, that's not right. People do it, but they just don't tell each other. For example, you want to have sex when you get home. So in the morning, you woke up early, you make breakfast for her in bed, you took the children to school, you sent message, and then you get home, you wanted to have sex, and she tells you she's tired. If she tells you she's tired, that could cause a fight for the next 1 week. So when you are doing something and you are expecting something in return, ensure you tell them from the start. Number 16, don't bottle your anger. I'm a very passive person when I was growing, until when I really grew up and I started healing. That is when I could actually tell you what is going on around me or what is going on in my life. So if I need you to do something for me, I may not tell you, I just expect you to know, which is not okay, which is unfair to the other person. So if I expect you to do it and you don't do it, I'm going to bottle up the anger. I will not talk. I'll just be passive. Then you will do something small, then I'll burst. That's not okay. When your partner offends you, let them know, that this is what you've done. You're not going to bottle it up. You are going to clarify things immediately. Then you move forward. Number 17, always open the line of communication. It's very essential. If you shut down communication, you just destroyed the marriage. Once you shut down communication, you destroy the marriage. And you don't want to do that. That's not what you need. Because the reason why you are hungry and you shut down is not because you want to end your marriage. It's not because you want to end your relationship. It's because you are passing a message across to your husband or your wife that you are hungry. And that's not the best option. The best option is to open your mouth and dialogue. And then do things respectfully and settle the issue. And then talk about the frustration and your anxiety. Don't just bottle things. Open the line of communication. Be generous. Number 18, be generous to one another. And when I mean generous in sex, in care, in time, in help. Be generous in all those areas as much as you can. In your time, stay around. If they need help, stay around. A lot of men don't stay around. You are always walking around. I don't know what you are looking for. You are not always at home. You are always going about. I don't understand. Almost a lot of men do that, including the young and the old. Okay, number 19, try not to take advantage of your partner. Sometimes some people are very, very kind, they are nice, and sometimes some are naive. So you take advantage of their being naive and being gullible, and then you act in a certain way to them. It doesn't work that way. For example, if they help you to get a loan, ensure you pay it back. Another thing is, if they give you their password, don't open their phone when they are not there or without their permission. Don't take their money without their permission. That won't be so right. Don't take advantage of your spouse. Number 20, take care of your spirits. Be an intercessor. If you're not a Christian, ensure that you meditate. Take care of your spirit, your soul, and your body. Those things are very important. If those three are well nourished and taken care of, you can take care of your marriage successfully. Number 21, set boundaries. A lot of people don't set boundaries. If you don't set boundaries, you will keep getting offended. And uh, it's essential that you get to a point in your life where you are no longer feeling offended by what people do, especially your partner. And that has a lot to do with your ability to set clear and simple boundary. Don't complicate things. And who do you set boundaries for? For children, for in-laws, for friends, and for against the external forces. Make sure you set your boundaries. 22, give to people and God's work. Give as much as possible. Give, be a giver. Give, and give as long as you have give. Number 23, Learn to sacrifice for one another. I know some people, they can't sacrifice for one another. Learn to sacrifice for one another. Number 24, learn to both cook your favorite meal together. It's fun. Go and try it. I've tried it a lot. Learn to cook your favorite meal. You see, I'm smiling now. 25, never forget birthdays and wedding anniversary. It's very essential. It can cause chaos. 26, surprises each other. Always surprise each other. It's a beautiful thing. Surprise each other. Number 27, learn to be romantic. You can surprise someone without being romantic. That's why I didn't put. Learn to be romantic. It's really. Number 28, invest in quality food and nutrition. I've seen a lot of men who got married without pot belly. 3 months after the wedding, they now have pot belly. Know that you will be the one to pay for it when their belly is bigger than what they can lie on. So you need to be very careful how you feed your spouse. Number 29, exercise and keep fit together. It's very essential. Number 30, make the house clean and beautiful. I've seen lots of men that doesn't want to go home simply because their wife always dirty the house, because their children always dirty the house. Although as invalid as that is, it is still something. So clean your house. Number 31, grow up in character and be intentional about it. Grow up in character, read, attend seminars, attend marriage retreats. Grow up. Number 32, always pray for the success of your marriage. Number 33, try to stay faithful. It helps you to be focused in the marriage. And most women don't recover from infidelity pain. As much as you can, stay faithful so that you can stay focused. And once you're focused, success is inevitable. The four, the devil will fight your marriage, but make up your mind to fight against the devil. The devil. Number 35, stay conscious and live a life of forgiveness. There will always be a reason for the other person. There will always be a reason for the other person to offend you, but there's every reason for you to always forgive that person if you want to move forward in your marriage. Number 36, have a marriage mentor, have counselor, have a therapist if there's a need. You can't go on this journey alone. A lot of people have passed through this journey and they have done so well, so you too can do the same. Renew your vow often. Number 37, renew your vow often. Try as much as possible to always renew your vow. Number 38, make your partner your prayer partner. You can afford to have other prayer partner outside your husband, outside your marriage, outside your wife. So if the opposite sex will be your prayer partner, then they have to do the prayer in your house. So be wise about that. Number 39, try not to keep secrets. As much as possible, I tell people this. If you are entering into courtship, spend some time to understand the person, know him very well, and be sure you want to marry the person before you start telling them about your past. And don't give them details so that they don't take advantage of you. Because if you do, and you tell them everything, and at the end of the day, the marriage doesn't work, you will be forced to stay there. Or if the relationship doesn't work, you'll be forced to stay there simply because you feel that you have told them about yourself and they have told you everything about themselves as well. So it's very important. Take your time before you share secrets before marriage, but when you marry, no more secrets. Number 40, accept each other's body. Your body won't remain the same after your first baby. Now you will have a bigger tummy. You might have to work hard to get back to shape, and sometimes you might not get back to shape, and that's okay. You might not get back to shape, and that's okay. That's really okay. The only thing you have to do is know what fits you, wear gadru, and dress smart. That's all you will need to do. Your husband too, he might go bald, like he might, the hair can start going back, and then it becomes the Lord is my Baba. So you really need to learn to accept each other's body. Number 41, don't compete with one another. Have each other's back instead. Immediately you start competing with one another, the energy in the house becomes negative and success will become impossible. So it's very essential that you don't compete with one another. Rather than doing so, have each other's back. Be a force. Number 42, be neutral when it comes to in-laws issue. You see, your in-laws, they are people in law with you. You can't cut them off. Emotionally, you can cut them off. But physically, family-wise, blood ties wise, relationship-wise, you can't cut them off. So you have to be neutral. You don't support your wife. You don't support your mother. You don't support your siblings. You don't, just be neutral as much as you can. And the danger of supporting either of them is this. Most of the time when people are having issues, is simply because they are fighting for a space in the life of one person. So the best thing for you to do, not to offend those two, the people who are fighting over an issue, is simply to be neutral. Comfort this person, comfort this person. If this person sees that you are supporting this one, it becomes a problem. If this person sees that you are supporting this one, it becomes a problem. So be neutral, but be kind. Comfort both parties. Number 43, be genuinely interested in your partner's progress. Sometimes you see that the way they are going, the way things are going for them, sometimes they are struggling, they can't even tell you, but you can see through. If you can see through, ensure that you help them come up with an idea. And the other person should also be ready and be willing to embrace their ideas and their comforts. Number 44, you have to stay relevant in their area of interest. Sometimes a lot of men, except my husband, they love sports. They love sports, they watch football and all that. But personally, I don't love football, and I don't love sports. If I'm fortunate to live with people who love sports, maybe I would have, but I really don't have people that love sports around me. So I grew up that way. I don't love sports, and that's okay. There are several other things that I love. I love creative things, and my husband is also very creative. So we enjoyed that together. So he loved politics. I also love politics. So you have to be genuinely interested and be on top of your game when it comes to something, a common interest for the two of you. Number 45, most men, as you begin to grow, as you begin to, stand on your own, become more independent, there is a need for you to still keep depending on one another. You have to keep depend, because once the other person sees that you are no longer depending on them for anything, they feel irrelevant. You tend to draw back, and when you draw back, there's no time for vacuum. There's no opportunity for vacuum. Something will fill it. Somebody will fill it. The secretary in the office will fill it. Somebody else somewhere that is feeding their ego will fill it. So there is no space for that vacuum. Show that you are still depending on one another on the journey. Number 46, when it comes to parenting, you have to learn to speak the same language. Children can be manipulative. I always say that. They will cry, they will go to daddy and say they want something, mommy did not give them. whereas that thing will hurt them, but because they know daddy love girls, daddy is going to stand up and go get that thing for them. Don't do it. Speak the same language. I remember recently my children did something and my husband said, well, you are no longer going out to swim. And suddenly my guy came to me and said, mommy, please help us beg daddy now. I said, no, he has said it, he has said it. And he gave them the punishment for like 2 3 weeks or so, and after that he took them to swim. So you have to speak the same language and ensure that your parenting standard is what is the kind of life you are also living yourself. Number 47, fly together. If one person is flying and the other person is not doing well, there's going to be jealousy and they will stress hell out of you. So make sure you are growing together so that you can fly together. Number 48, talk about everything. I mean everything. When essential. If you are relocating, talk about it. Infertility, if you are going to adopt, talk about it. Are people going to live with you? Talk about it. Yeah, I've said it. Where do you want to be buried? I've said it. How do you want to share your properties? It's very essential. If you are going to have children, who is going to name your child? Are you allowing in-laws to bring names? Those things are very essential. In our case, we allow people to give our children name, but the names we bear are the names God gave us. So every other person's name is by mouth, but the name that we want is on their birth certificates, and that's very important. Number 49, prioritize your peace. A time is going to come in that marriage that all you want is just to have your peace. So establish that peace from day one. It's very essential. Your peace is very essential. And the last but not the least, choose to both fight for your marriage intentionally. Like I normally said it, I'll say keep becoming a better you, because things work when we work it. Things really work when we work it. If your marriage is still working today, it's because you want to work it. If you're no longer interested today, trust me, it will end. So it works when you decide to work it, but you have to be intentional about it. If you do it, it will work. And yeah, that's all I have. If you have any other one that you can think of, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. And I'm also going to break it into small parts so that I can put it on our short videos. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Till I come your way again, keep becoming a better you, because things work when we work it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.